Hey everyone, welcome back to Bourbon Battles. I'm Joe.
I'm Chad.
So hopefully you guys been following along, right? And we just released probably last week our $100 challenge. So make sure you're going in and you're going to Facebook, Instagram. Hell, you can vote on TikTok. We're going to put a TikTok video out as a reminder. Anywhere you saw that video, you can vote for Joe, Chad, or Alex. I would vote for Joe. You know, I got a pretty good idea who's going to win, and it's probably not me, but we'll leave it at that. So make sure you go in there and vote.
It's whiskey, but I don't think it matters who wins.
Yeah. Our very next video that comes out, we may send out a little short video to remind everybody. We'll have a date for our first Bourbon Battles live stream
coming.
So bear with us. We're going to try to figure out the technology on that. We'll probably do a little sample one. So, hey, if you like and subscribe and hit that notification bell when we go live to try this, to make sure it's working, hey, you might catch us and be able to say hi. We might be on there for a few minutes.
That's true.
That'd be fun, won't it?
It could be.
Will you comb your hair for that one?
Probably not. I'm probably going to cut it all off.
Like mine?
Probably not that short, but I'm going to give it a cut and a shave.
It's going to look good.
No, I'm just going to look about 8 years younger than I am.
So, hopefully you've been following along, guys. We did a video a couple videos ago. What was the distillery we did? It's a Log Still Distillery down there in Kentucky where we talked about the Monk's Road stuff. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
So we really like this stuff. I guess the weed is getting sold out everywhere in Indiana. Does that surprise you? Doesn't really surprise me.
It's a good problem for them.
It's a good problem for them, yeah. So, hey, go check that out. But so, hey, today we're going to do the same thing. We're going to highlight a distillery. We want to thank, we'll just tell you who it is. It's Wilderness Trail. So, thank you, Wilderness Trail, because they sent us the whiskey for this video, some of it. So, they sent us their...
It all came from there, though. I mean, obviously it all comes from there, but, yeah, in a roundabout way,
They gave it to us they sent it to us.
Yeah, 2 of the 3 at least.
3 of the 6.
3 of the 6, sorry.
3 of the... So what we're going to do is, they basically have 3 products, right? They have a high rye bourbon, they have a wheated bourbon, and they have a rye whiskey.
That's right.
Which they've sent us all a sample of. And then between Chad and I, we have store picks of each of those respective things. So I'm kind of the opinion they're some of the best store picks around.
They're pretty good. A lot of them, yeah.
So we're going to taste the regular expression, what we'll call a shelf expression, right? And then we're going to taste the store pick and kind of tell you what we think. We'll go through these each one at a time. And then to wrap it up, I happen to have one of their brand new 8-year high rye bourbons, Kentucky only.
You know what
right
I think? I think part of the reason why their store picks are so good and so unique is because everything they do is sweet mashed. They don't do any sour mashing.
You want to explain the difference between sweet mash and sour mash real fast?
Well, right there on the screen is the definition of sweet mash and the definition of sour mash.
You put me on the spot.
Right.
Read it for yourself.
Right.
So we're going to start off with the high rye bourbon.
Okay.
No, let's start off with the wheat, because then you're going to go to a rye. Where do you want to start?
Whatever you want to do.
What's your opinion?
My opinion would be to start off with the
wheat.
The wheat, but that's just
because then you wheat, high rye.
Sure.
Yeah. What do you think?
Or rye, high rye, wheat. Either way, doesn't matter.
Wheat. Okay. So as we start to sniff here on the wheated, I'm going to pull out the information they gave me. I'm just going to read it. Right. Maybe even throw it up on the screen. We'll see. 64% corn, 24 wheat, 12 malted barley, sweet mash fermentation like we just talked about. That's going to be everything they do. Vendome copper stills at 137 degrees. Enters the barrel at 110 proof. Number 4 char, at least 4 years old, right? It's bottled in bond, so it has to be. All this stuff is. Distilled, aged, and bottled by Wilderness Trail in Danville, Kentucky.
Yeah.
I like this stuff quite a bit. So this is their shelf expression.
And for everyone who doesn't, we don't have to talk about that.
That's awful tasty. That's a great 100 proof wheated whiskey. Now this next one we're going to taste. You want it in here?
Yep.
You're not the same one?
Nope.
All right.
It's good.
So this is 116 proof. Like we said, the second one we're going to taste of all these is a store pick. This comes to us from Merle's Whiskey Kitchen down on Main Street in Louisville.
And that is a wheated one also.
This is the same expression.
Right.
Just a store pick and 16 proof points higher. So, hey, if you've never been to Merle's Whiskey Kitchen down there on Main Street across the street from Old Forester, it's one of my favorite whiskey bars. Have you ever been there?
Nope.
You're missing out.
So be it.
Man, that's good. Really sweet. A little bit more flavor with the extra proof points, I think. What do you think?
I think that I don't think the extra proof points hurt it at all.
No. I'd say we both typically like that.
What's the proof on it?
This is 116.
Yeah, that's a pretty good pick. So the thing about it is they don't put out production run single barrels, I don't think. I think all of
It's all batched.
It's either bonded or bad. It's either bonded or
it's all
store
bonded.
picked.
Yeah.
Or store picked.
Right.
So it's either 100 proof or 115,
whatever it is.
117, whatever it comes out as.
Yep. Yeah. Fantastic. You agree?
I do.
We're both pretty big fans of this. Now let's move on to the Rye Bourbon. While I'm pouring that, you want to read some information?
I can. So, the Rye mash bill.
Here?
That'd be fine. It's 64% corn, 24% rye, and 12% malted barley. And when you say rye, I think it's pretty standard that anything over 15% is considered high rye.
That's what we've been told recently, right?
Right. It's just the same as everything is the same as the wheat except for
the mash bill,
obviously, and then what was the barrel entry proof on the wheated?
I don't know.
So they're both barrel entry proof on both of them's 110.
110, yeah.
But yeah, they're all made. I mean, obviously they're made with the same stills, made in the same facility, sweet mash. Everything's the same, except for the mash bill.
You've done a tour there, right?
I have.
I've done a tour there as well. It's a really cool facility. You know, Wilderness Trail's been in the news a lot lately. They've just been bought by a larger company. I don't know that anything's
controlling interest has been bought at least.
Yeah, I don't know that anything's going to change. They're very innovative. I mean, kind of their thing was the science behind whiskey for a long time, right? With the yeast.
They've been involved in the spirits industry for decades before they ever opened the distillery. So
they're not new to the business. They're fairly newer to whiskey,
which is also why their whiskey is, in my opinion, some of the best, because they could afford to distill it and put it in a rick house and let it set and not sell anybody else's as their own, not bottle anybody else's as their own. They did everything on their own. They just waited.
And they do a ton of contract distilling as well.
Yeah. They sell a lot of yeast strains. But there's one of them's an engineer, one of them's a scientist. So it helps.
Cool facility. I really enjoyed it. A lot of tours you go in the rick houses, right? But I thought they did an exceptional job in the rick house. And did you go in the warm months?
Mid months. It was fall.
Did you do your tasting out in this out? We did ours under a canopy thing. It was really cool.
I did it in a warehouse.
Yeah, I guess they probably do it a little different all the time. So now let's get into a store pick, right?
I think that the rye, that rye strong.
I'm just pouring them where you want, bud.
Right here. I think the rye is a little easier to drink than the wheated, actually. You don't have the wheat heat, you know.
Yeah, I prefer the wheated. shelf product, right? The 100 proof, right off the shelf. Of course, store picks can be all over the place, which we're about ready to find out. So this store pick comes to us at 113 proof. That's so a little bit less than the last one.
It's all right.
But real close. And this comes to us from Toddy's Liquors in Bardstown, Kentucky. Would you recommend people swing in there if they're through?
I have mixed opinions.
It's all right. They got a lot of store picks, right? And he gets good ones.
Yeah, he gets good ones. He sells a lot.
So let's see what we think about this. I think it's fantastic. Like, I prefer that over the weeded store pick.
Yeah, I think it tastes different, but I don't think it has much flavor, but I don't think it has much burn. I think the finish is longer on this one, but not as harsh. Yeah, I mean, it's, in my opinion, the Rye store pick is better. But that also lends to the difference between store picks too.
Oh yeah. So we talk about store picks a lot. We don't review them a lot because they're so drastically different.
They are. They're all chosen by somebody different.
As you start to get into whiskey, I think you want to start to go down this store pick road. It's a great way to get unique stuff.
Well, and the best thing to do is if you find a spirit store that you like their store picks and you can build a relationship with those people, then when they do a store pick, you're probably going to have a pretty good chance at least getting a bottle.
Yeah. And for what it's worth, these off-the-shelf expressions, all three of them that we're going to review today, I believe are all three on the shelf at Red Barrel Liquors in Mooresville. Mm-hmm. We like to work with Alex over there, so keep that in mind. If you want to try one of these, go over there. I'm sure he'd love to do a Wilderness Trail store pick, so hopefully that's in the future someday.
I think it's coming.
So, we're going to do a store pick.
They just built 9 rick houses, so they're going to be...
They're not going anywhere.
No.
So, and hey, keep tuned in, and that's why it's so important to subscribe to this thing and follow us on social media. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikToks, all that stuff. And really, if you want really the inside scoop and you want to get great giveaways and all that stuff, you got to go to www.patreon.com/bourbon battles. Costs you $5 a month to join. That's how we support this someday.
But there's a lot of good things that Patreon members get that
we're going to give away.
The rest of the worldwide interwebs doesn't.
Someday we'll give away a bottle with a horsey on top.
Oh my goodness.
All right, but we got to have enough Patreons to make it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, so check that out.
You guys like horsies on your whiskey?
We're going to do the very first Bourbon Battle store pick at some time in early 2023, and we'll do that in conjunction with Red Barrel Liquors.
Yeah.
And that will go out to Patreon members first.
Absolutely.
As long as Alex can get on board with that, we'll figure it out. So, hey, join Patreon. Support us. We're working real hard for no money.
That's the story of my life.
You got it, Ace. So, hey, let's get into the rye.
Okay.
You're big. Well, we'll get into the shelf one first.
Okay.
Boop.
We don't need to talk about where the... Well,
yeah, you got to. We did on the other ones.
Well, I came from the distillery, so...
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah.
Rye. So this is a 56% rye, 33 corn, 11 malted barley. I really like that combination in a rye, right? So a lot of ryes are 95% rye. That's probably the most common mash bill. So...
I think the corn helps smooth it out.
Yeah. I love ryes with a lot of corn in them that are just over that 51% mark to be called a rye. That tends to be where I like to go. It's sweet mash. Barrel entry proof is 100. So, and this is bottled and bond, so it's 100 proof.
It's different because their whiskeys enter at 110.
Right. So this is very, very low entry proof.
How old is it? 4 years?
It's at least 4 years old, which is pretty good for a rye. It's bottled and bond. So I don't believe, you can't do bourbon at 100 proof entry point. It wouldn't be bourbon because it's got to go in at something. It's over 100. If I'm wrong, I'll put it on the screen.
I don't think there's a minimum. I think that it cannot go in over 125.
Is that what it can't go in over?
That's why
and then it has to come out. And
why a lot of your batch proof stuff's 125.
I see. So,
but that doesn't mean they can't put it in 116 or 108 or whatever.
I see. I think yeah. So let's see what this is all about, right? This has got a great nose on it.
Sweet. I mean, that smells sweetness right off the get-go.
I love sweet ryes. Like, you know what they are. You guys all know what they are. They're really sweet ryes. Man, I do not own a bottle of that. But next time I'm at Red Barrel, I'm getting one.
I think that as far as rye whiskey goes, I think that's the best one that you can buy. That's just my opinion, but I honestly think that any form of the Wilderness Trail is the best one you can buy. And I think this one is exceptional.
This pick?
That's good.
That is that's a fantastic rye. It's a traditional rye. You
almost said it.
Huh?
You almost said it.
What did I almost said?
Phenomenal.
So, for traditional ryes, like, I don't consider the Angel's Envy and the Hard Truth is traditional rye, but they're so sweet. I consider that something different. I love them.
That Hard Truth rye is good.
It's awesome. But for a traditional rye whiskey, man, that is good.
Yeah.
I've had this in a bar before.
That's good winter whiskey.
And it was a pick in a bar. It was the only place I ever had it. I don't remember it being that good. We haven't even tried the store pick yet. This is your bottle. You want to tell everybody where you got that?
I got that at the Wilderness Trail Distillery.
Whose pick is it?
Well, it was picked by the Fred Minnick show. So, yeah.
Yeah. Do you know who that is?
I don't. It's a whiskey guy, I know, but I don't.
He's a whiskey journalist.
Okay.
He owns or runs. We're a little.
There were 200. I know there were 230 bottles in this barrel.
And that was it.
And that was it. Yeah.
Can I have it?
No.
Oh my God, the nose on that is amazing.
It's
amazing.
It's one of the better. I never used to really be a rye guy, and I'm still really not. But I could drink that and get down with that whenever. It's only about. I think this one's only about 4 years old, 3.5 years old.
It's only 104 proof. That's because of that low entry proof.
What probably helps. Yeah, plays a big part of it.
This is the kind of thing, and I haven't even tasted it yet, but I'd like to pour this up to the hips, right? Sit down on the couch and watch television and spend as much time smelling it as I do drinking it. You ever do that?
No.
You're supposed to be a whiskey journalist now.
I am not. I don't have a writing degree.
It doesn't matter. We were named the tag team internet champions.
I can
whiskey
taste it and tell you if
tasters.
it's worth drinking or not.
Did you?
I haven't tasted it. Yeah, I already
Quit
know.
talking
I already
about
know
it.
the answer, bud.
Oh, this is yours. You know.
Yeah, that's why it's almost gone.
3 years and 7 months old. It's on the side. So this is not bottled and bond. This pick is not bottled and bond. It's really good.
Yeah, I'm and after having the regular off the shelf brand, I don't know that it's any different.
They're
very similar.
If I saw this pick laying around, I'd buy it. If they didn't have this and I really wanted it and they only had that,
it'd be worth it.
They're very, very close, I think. I gotta have one.
Well, you know where to buy one.
I'm gonna buy one at Red Barrel Liquors in Mooresville, Indiana.
There you go.
Is that where you'd get yours if you needed one?
If I needed one. Yeah.
If you need to restock, would you go there?
Yeah.
Okay. So, hey, guys, I can't stress it enough. We love doing this. We need your support. Go to patreon.com/bourbon battles. Find us there. Go check out Wilderness Trail's website. Hey, do yourself a favor and sign up and go down there for a tour.
Yeah. It's a good tour.
We like it down there, guys.
It's not around anything. It's not easy. It's not close. You're not going to get to it real easy.
But between the two of us, would you probably say we've been to most distilleries in Kentucky?
Well, what they tell us last night, there's 41 on the tour.
Yeah, and I've been to like 15 of them. You've probably been to more than that.
Yeah.
So we've been to a lot.
I've been to almost every one outside of Louisville Metro.
You haven't done any down there, have you?
Old Forester. Peerless, but other than that, no.
So we've been to a lot. That's safe to say, right?
Yeah. It helps though because it's relatively drivable for us. So if you're watching from southern Missouri, it's not going to be quite as easy. Or if you're watching from Iowa, or if you're watching from New Hampshire, or wherever.
Yeah, Chad and I literally last night from when we filmed this drove an hour and 45 minutes to do a distillery tour in Kentucky. We're that close. It was probably, what, an hour and a half for you?
Yeah, well, and if it wouldn't have been where it was at in Kentucky, I could have been there even quicker, but I had to go all the way across.
We could both be to Louisville in an hour and a half.
I can be there quicker than that.
A little quicker than us, yeah. So, I want to stress this to you guys. We love doing these. Thank you again, Wilderness Trail.
Yeah.
You guys have been great to work with. We love working with you guys. And we don't want this to be the last Wilderness Trail video we do. And by the way, I went back for another little taste. I picked the rye.
You know what else we have to try? This is the 8-year, I thought.
Oh, we got one more to try. Thank you very much. Before we finish, wrap this up. Here, let's... As we're talking about it, oh boy, we almost had
I've never tried this.
So I was fortunate enough when I was down there back in September. I think when this video comes out, this is still a Kentucky only release. It's their 8-year-old, right, instead of 4-year-old. They also have a
6 too.
They have a 6.
It's a silver label.
Yep.
That's good. Okay. Ooh, that's good.
So this is still pretty.
Is that a rye or a weeded?
It's a high rye bourbon. So I saw this at the Party Source in Cincinnati yesterday. If anybody's looking in that area, so these guys have been great to work with, guys. We need your help. We need you to like this video. We need you to share it to your social media because if you like our show, we're gonna go down. We want to go to Wilderness Trail and do an episode on their facility, which they won't let us do if we don't help them sell some whiskey. And their whiskey's really good. So help us out, share this video, help us grow our channel. We can do a lot more of this stuff. We've got several distilleries that we're going to starting in January, right?
Whenever, yeah.
Yeah, so we've got a big long list of them, and this is a Wilderness Trail episode, so we won't get into that, but we want to go to Wilderness Trail, so help us promote this video. Let's wrap this up as we try the 8-year. What do you think?
Yeah, we can do it.
Oh, the smell.
I've never tried this, so. And it smells completely different than the other ones.
Yeah. It's got a good nose. It's got a really...
I'm not even going to tell you what I smell.
We don't really talk about a lot of tasting notes here because everybody's different. And tasting notes are stupid. It's got a good nose.
You know, and something else that you didn't talk about, a lot of times we drink whiskey blind. On this one, we obviously haven't. But why do we drink whiskey blind?
Chad and I like to drink whiskey blind because we don't give a rat's ass what's on the label. We just like good whiskey. And I tell you, we've had Wilderness Trail in blinds before on the channel.
We had it as a unicorn killer, even though, yeah, we did.
It was right there. I don't recall all the details, but hey guys, we like to drink it blind. So set this up with your friends and drink your whiskey blind because if you don't, you're missing out. That's
I don't
good.
like that as much as the 4-year.
You don't?
I don't.
I like the 4-year better myself as well. I like the rye a lot. Let me stress to you, I like the rye a lot.
Is it good?
I like the weeded a lot too, though. Mm-hmm. So hey guys, drinking bourbon's supposed to be fun. Do it with your friends. The biggest value in whiskey is not buying it and selling it on Facebook. This stuff,
it isn't?
It's not, right? So this stuff you can only buy in Kentucky. I could have left the seal on this. You know, I could have made $30 or $40 on that. You know what? Let's open it and have $30 or $40 worth of fun. What do you think?
I'm down.
We're down. So drinking bourbon's fun. Do it with your friends, but don't drink and drive.
No.
What do you think a guy ought to do?
If you drink, don't drive, do the watermelon crawl.